Remember when Angel Reese and Kennedy Carter thought they could bully Caitlin Clark without consequences? When defenders could target the rookie with cheap shots while refs looked the other way? That era just came to a spectacular end. Sophie Cunningham just stepped into Fever training camp with a message so powerful it's sending shockwaves through the WNBA. The veteran sharpshooter with a Taekwondo black belt isn't just joining the team. She's now the enforcer for the league's most targeted star. In this video, we'll break down Sophie's training camp play and interviews, and why she's now becoming the secret weapon of the Indiana Fever against all the bullies. If you're excited, then comment CC and Sophie down below. Let's go. For sometimes you need one of those players on your team. You need one of those enforcers. Every good player, by the way, every good player, every good team has that is a super duper star. Most of them have enforcer type players. Remember when Caitlin Clark stepped into the WNBA as the most hyped player ever? The excitement quickly turned into something else entirely. As games unfolded, a disturbing pattern emerged that left fans and analysts alike stunned by what they were witnessing. The numbers tell a story that can't be ignored. A shocking 17% of all flagrant fouls in the entire WNBA last season were committed against just one player, Caitlin Clark. Think about that for a second. One rookie in a league of elite athletes somehow became the target for nearly 1/5 of the most dangerous fouls in the game. This wasn't coincidence. Game after game, the pattern became impossible to deny. Opponents weren't just playing physical basketball, they were specifically targeting Clark with punishing screens, excessive body contact, and plays that crossed the line from competitive to dangerous. What should have been a celebration of remarkable talent turned into a nightly gauntlet of punishment. The worst offenders quickly became obvious to anyone watching. Angel Reese established herself as Clark's most visible antagonist, combining relentless physical play with constant trash talk designed to throw the rookie off her game. But perhaps the most blatant moment came courtesy of Kennedy Carter, whose shoulder check during a fast break instantly went viral across social media platforms. These weren't just basketball plays, they were statements. What made matters worse? The officials consistently failed to provide adequate protection. Refs repeatedly swallowed their whistles on plays that would have earned immediate calls for other players. This left Clark navigating through a physical minefield while simultaneously trying to quarterback a young Fever team with limited experience around her. Through it all, Clark showed remarkable composure. Despite enduring treatment that would have sent many veterans into public complaints, she never once used media availability to criticize officials or opponents. Instead, she put her head down and played through the contact, embodying a level of professionalism that belied her rookie status. But the toll was visible in her performance, her body language, and most importantly, in her ability to play her natural game. The Fever front office wasn't blind to what was happening. As they watched their franchise cornerstone absorb punishment night after night, they reached a decisive conclusion. This treatment would not continue into Clark's sophomore season. Their response wasn't just about adding talent. It was a calculated decision to construct a roster specifically engineered to protect their star. This wasn't simply about winning more games. It was about sending a message to the entire league that targeting Caitlin Clark would now come with immediate consequences. The Fever weren't just building a team, they were creating a fortress around their most valuable asset. But the burning question remained: who would lead this new protective mentality on the court? The Fever needed someone with the perfect combination of skill, experience, and the willingness to enforce boundaries. They found their answer in a 6'1" dynamo with a black belt in Taekwondo and a reputation for never backing down from confrontation. Caitlin Clark was getting hit a lot. She was getting hit a lot early and they needed their Charles Oakley. You've got that in Sophie Cunningham. Enter Sophie Cunningham, a player whose reputation preceded her, but whose true mission in Indiana wasn't fully understood until she grabbed the microphone at training camp. Behind her career 37.8% three-point shooting lies something far more valuable to the Fever: a warrior's mentality and a message that made waves across the league. As Cunningham walked into her first Fever media session, reporters expected the usual pleasantries about new beginnings and team goals. Instead, they got 6 words that reverberated throughout the basketball world. "I'm here to make sure nobody takes cheap shots at our players. That stops now." In an era where most athletes stick to carefully crafted PR statements, Cunningham's blunt declaration felt like a thunderclap. What makes her particularly suited for this protective role isn't just her physical presence on the court. Her background showcases a foundation of discipline and physical prowess that translates directly to her playing style. Throughout her WNBA career, Cunningham has built a reputation as someone who never shies away from confrontation, making her the perfect shield for a team needing to establish boundaries. So I'm on year 7, and I did not believe people like, hey, when you get old, you're gonna know. Boy, I think I'm starting to get old, and I hate saying that. But no, it's just, we play fast, right? We're gonna be quick. We're a running gun. We're a shooting team. But with that, you gotta get your cardio. With that, you have to play fast, but play smart. And so there's a fine line between that, and we're all trying to get that. There's a lot of people here, a lot of different rotations. A lot of people that you haven't played with before, so you have to know where they want the ball, when they want it, their rhythm, their style play. And so a lot of people are learning, but it's fun, right? Everyone's excited to be here. Everyone's working hard. We've had 3 really, really good days. The veteran's commitment goes beyond just standing guard over Indiana's star rookie. During training camp interviews, she emphasized creating an environment where mutual support becomes second nature. It's important that we know and love each other off the court, Cunningham explained, because that naturally translates to on-court chemistry and a willingness to fight for each other. This philosophy reveals a deeper strategy. She's not just protecting Clark. She's fostering a culture where every player feels secure. When reporters pressed her specifically about the physical treatment Clark endured during her rookie season, Cunningham didn't mince words. "That's not basketball," she stated firmly. "That's not going to happen on my watch." The directness of her response left no room for interpretation. The days of using excessive physicality as a strategy against the Fever's franchise player were over. Anytime you play with the goat of our team, or the goat of our game, you're going to learn a lot. You know, you have to be ready for the ball, head on a swivel at all times, and the way that she throws balls a lot, how DT threw it. I think this is just the younger version of her, so she has a little bit more energy, a little bit more spunk. I miss DT in her prime, but doesn't mean she wasn't great when I played with her. But honestly, at the end of the day, everybody can shoot, right? If you're cutting and you're open, you're going to get the ball, and so you just have to be ready for that, and I'm excited for that. And I think you'll see 1 through 5 is interchangeable. And so Cunningham's experience playing alongside legends like Diana Taurasi and Brittany Griner has given her unique insight into handling the spotlight. "I understand what it's like to have every move scrutinized," she noted during camp, explaining her approach to shutting out external noise and protecting the team's mental space. This veteran wisdom is proving invaluable for a young team facing unprecedented attention. What makes her presence particularly potent is how her basketball skills complement her protective instincts. That deadly three-point accuracy forces defenders to stay honest, creating more space for Clark to operate. It's a dual threat that makes the Fever significantly more dangerous. Opponents now face both athletic consequences for targeting Clark and basketball consequences for ignoring Cunningham. Beyond that deadly three-point shooting lurks something even more valuable to Caitlin Clark's success: a basketball IQ that anticipates threats before they materialize. While fans might notice the scoring partnership forming between these two, coaches are seeing something much more significant developing on the defensive end of the floor. In the heat of practice sessions, Cunningham isn't just talking about protection. She's demonstrating it through a constant stream of communication that transforms Indiana's defensive positioning. Watch closely during drills and you'll see her pointing out screens before they happen, directing traffic like an on-court air traffic controller, and ensuring Clark never gets blindsided by picks she doesn't see coming. This strategic awareness creates an early warning system that allows Clark to navigate the court without constantly looking over her shoulder. The practice footage tells a compelling story. During scrimmages, Cunningham doesn't just react to defensive breakdowns, she prevents them entirely. She's constantly calling out positions, anticipating offensive movements, and organizing the entire defensive unit to work as a single cohesive force. This proactive approach means Clark can focus entirely on her offensive game without worrying about where the next hit might come from. What makes this partnership particularly special is how it extends beyond the court. Between drills, Clark and Cunningham are often huddled together, engaged in animated conversations about strategy and team dynamics. This rapid development of off-court chemistry has created a foundation of trust that translates directly to game situations. When the pressure mounts in the fourth quarter, that established connection means they can communicate with just a glance or nod. Cunningham's versatility adds another layer to her protective presence. Her ability to play multiple positions, from point guard all the way to power forward, gives the Fever unpredictable lineup combinations that keep opponents guessing. This positional flexibility creates matchup problems for other teams while providing Clark with different types of support depending on the situation. The impact extends beyond just the Clark-Cunningham connection. Teammates have begun adopting this same protective mindset, creating a team-wide culture where standing up for each other is simply what they do. It's no longer just about one enforcer. It's about an entire team that refuses to let any member get targeted or isolated. I could see Sophie just coming in for a few minutes a game and, giving Caitlin Clark a rest, or anybody else a rest, starting at the 1, migrating over to the 2, whatever. She seems to be able to do it, and she isn't looking bad while doing it. She's confident. She's hitting her targets cross-court, and there is more footage showing her spotting up, so she can still go over to the 2, to the 3, to the 4 even, spot up at the wing, and knock down a 3. The ripple effects of this protective team culture have created a mathematical problem no opposing coach can solve. When you build a defensive wall around the most electric offensive talent in a generation, what exactly are opponents supposed to do? The Fever aren't just building for the future anymore. They're coming for everything right now. Indiana's front office has orchestrated a masterclass in team construction that extends far beyond creating a security detail for their star. They've assembled a championship-caliber squad virtually overnight. Natasha Howard doesn't just bring intimidation to the court. She carries 3 championship rings and a Defensive Player of the Year trophy with her. Her arrival instantly transforms Indiana's defensive identity, establishing a new standard and providing a championship blueprint that younger players can follow. The genius of this roster construction becomes apparent when you see how each piece complements the others. Brianna Turner, with back-to-back all-defensive first-team selections, creates what teammates are already calling a no-fly zone in the paint. Her quiet intensity perfectly balances Cunningham's vocal leadership, giving opponents nowhere to hide on either end of the court. DeWanna Bonner's addition might be the most underrated move of all. Her basketball IQ and leadership provide a stabilizing presence both on and off the court. In practice sessions, you can already see her mentoring younger players, reading defenses, and making the kind of veteran decisions that transform good teams into great ones. What's shocking observers around the league isn't just the individual talent, it's how quickly this group has melded together. Early training camp reports describe an offense that's already flowing with remarkable efficiency. Clark is finding shooters with pinpoint passes, the ball movement looks crisp, and there's a palpable energy that typically takes months, not weeks, to develop. Everyone is in it for the right reason, Cunningham revealed in a recent interview. We have great energy, great people. That chemistry is creating an impossible equation for opposing coaches. Focus too much attention on Clark and Howard, Cunningham, or Bonner will make you pay. And let's not forget, this team still has a Leah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell, and Lexi Hull. Play the team honestly, and Clark can still dismantle you. There's no longer a viable defensive strategy against this roster. The Fever have compressed what should be a multi-year rebuilding project into a single off-season. What makes this transformation so remarkable is that they're positioned to compete for a playoff spot immediately while simultaneously building toward a dynasty. Howard captured this dual timeline perfectly when she stated, "I'm excited to return to Indiana and bring my experience and toughness to the team," emphasizing both the immediate focus on winning and competing at the highest level. When the 2025 season tips off, the Indiana Fever won't just look different, they'll be unrecognizable from the struggling expansion team of years past. Veterans like Howard, Cunningham, Turner, and Bonner aren't just adding skills. They're creating a culture where physical, tough play is matched, not tolerated. The message to the league is clear. This team demands greatness, but they are having fun. Case in point, Sophie and Caitlin are 2 friends that need to be separated in class for talking too much. That's actually become a meme online, like the Caitlin dancing. What we're witnessing is nothing short of a transformation for the Indiana Fever. The partnership between Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham represents a changing of the guard in the WNBA, creating an environment where talent can flourish without distraction. Cunningham's arrival signals more than just adding a shooter. It establishes a culture where teammates truly support each other, for the right reason. The chemistry building off-court translates directly to on-court performance. with Clark now free to focus on her exceptional playmaking abilities. The rest of the league should take notice. This isn't just about protecting a star player. It's about reshaping the entire competitive landscape of women's basketball for years to come.